Decided exactly what the scope of the sports complex would be, but they did pass a measure to approve building of or actually to approve the hiring of a consultant to do the feasibility study for a sports complex. And then also they discussed how you're going to fund it. And the number that I put on the budget there at the bottom end, the footnote, was some of the discussions that I've had with the mayor, some of the city council members, and the city manager. What I put on there is that the Mayor Daniel Tejada's requesting that the FEDC participate in the funding of the proposed sports complex adjacent to the Civic Center beginning in fiscal year 13 and continuing for the next 20 years. The FEDC board is being asked to allocate as much as $75,000 per year to pay the sports complex debt service. The city will own all the debt, which means that, you know, we're not going to be part of the loan, we're going to contribute to the payment of the debt service. And the FEDC is being asked to support this initiative. And I think some of you all might have had some discussions with the mayor or some of the city council members. But I was asked to present this information to you for discussion. We don't have to put any money down this year, but if the board agrees to participate with the city, then we would have to make a commitment, a sizable commitment. And I'm saying right now, based on what I'm hearing, about $75,000 a year. That could grow, or they could, you know, be less if they get corporate sponsorships and other activities participate in the funding of the sports complex. The city doesn't know how much money they would allocate to build the sports complex. I know they had a meeting last week, public hearing. Several numbers were thrown out, some as high as 15 million, some as low as 2.8 million or a little bit less. But that's why I believe they voted to pay for a consultant to do a professional review and an analysis of what it would take to actually build a sports complex. But I don't believe that has been done yet. Again, this is something that's being projected for the future. As the letter says, they're discussing how they would fund it and what kind of funding mechanism the city would enter into paying for the sports complex. It is a 4B project. The FEDC, as a 4B corporation, these are some of the things the FEDC can do. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to do it, but it's in the list of projects that are authorized by the state for an FEDC to be able to get into an EDC, a 4B EDC, which is what we are. But again, I think this is just the beginning of the discussion. We do have a council member, city manager here.
Clarify for me, because maybe I missed something, either in the paper or here. I understood, or I'm hearing you say it's a consultant to do a feasibility study. Is that correct? And yet I keep hearing on the street, and maybe it was in the paper and I've missed something, that it did pass, we are having it, we are going forward with it, or where are we with this?
Well, I don't know, but maybe
I've had several people
Mr. Jocelyn,
ask
if
me
you
about
could give us some information.
The mayor and the council's wishes is just for us to explore the options that we have. This, what I'm handing you, is a copy of the presentation that was given to the city council. And in addition, we had our financial advisor and bond counsel at the meeting to give us a projection of what we'd be looking at.
So it has not passed.
No, nothing has passed.
What is it people are seeing, or what are they reading, or what that? I've had several people say, God, can you believe it? Sports complex passed. We're going to have it.
Facebook.
And the people that were probably here at the meeting did not really register. All their mind was like, no sports complex. And they didn't pay attention to what was really going on.
All the council authorized me was to move forward to gather more information for the 4B, for the leagues, for any other.
You said this is future, meaning like we'll think about it later, but are we not in the fiscal year that we need to be thinking about it? This thing, if it happens, is going to be in the...
I believe what the city is asking us is to make a determination whether we should or should not participate. They're asking us to participate.
Right.
So then, the only thing we don't know is at what level do we
Yeah,
participate.
well, my point is, I think we have to work it into this budget.
Yeah.
You know, because it would probably be the first year,
Yeah.
2012 is going to be the first year that we're going to contribute if we are.
Well, the reason I didn't do it is because it would,
No, I'm not asking you to do it.
Right.
Thank you.
okay.
But it says fiscal year
13.
well, this sounds like we're doing it.
I'm sorry?
This sounds like we're doing it. We're already
No,
being asked to
Because
put forth
I didn't
money.
project anything into it, into the budget. I'm just telling you what the mayor requested.
Yeah, proposed.
And beginning
Because it's not in
in
here.
fiscal year 13.
Well, that's my point. You know, that's for us to
It would
determine.
be
Do
the
we
fiscal
need to
year
put it in there?
12.
No,
I
the first payment.
I agree with
But-
you on that.
Yeah, I think we can push it to the future, yeah. You know, are we going to participate? We have to make that decision. If we are, to what amount?
To put
Now,
this-
again, these are projections, mind you. You know, we may never spend it, and that's okay. But if we do, we need to be prepared.
We have
So the first payment would be actually 2013, right, Jesse?
That's not.
That's right, right,
The payment will be 2013.
Andy?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I'm being
13.
told.
Yes.
13.
13.
But that's all
We'd have to-
predicated as to
we'd
when
have
you
to
get the
budget.
money.
Right.
I would think so, you know, if we're going to.
Do it
So,
now.
and this is a preliminary kind of meeting, I know, we're not making any decisions, but we need to discuss, same as we are talking about the rest of it, I think.
I'd like to hear the feasibility study first before we make any
But,
sound decision.
well, that makes sense. To see what does the consultant say you can do. I think the finance people are telling them 2.8, 2.4 million.
2.24.
Okay.
What I understood was that the total package was $175,000.
The debt service.
The debt, right?
Yearly.
Right.
Yearly, yeah, yearly.
At
Or-
4 point something,
Yeah.
4.5%, which is a conservative interest rate right now.
Is that going to be more or less?
And
Conservative meaning it's
does this
on
board
the
think,
higher end and the lower end.
and does this board think that the city and the associations can pick up 100,000?
That's 175,000 on what they projected y'all could, the city could afford at 2.24 million.
Right.
Right.
And I don't know if they're gonna, like I said, I don't think they're gonna build what they want to for that amount of money.
This is up to the board to decide if,
It's feasible.
Well, what we don't know is who else is the city looking to tap into to provide monies for the debt
What-
service?
what I have noticed with the Civic Center, that, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but we don't have any major players, sponsors.
At this point in time, no.
See, and it's been already 2 years, so
We still don't have
take
that.
that under consideration that
Right.
That this will never happen either.
The parks, monies at the Parks Foundation.
David, with all due respect, if you,
Well, I thought this was a open meeting for citizen input.
no, it's not. With all due respect, David.
Go ahead and finish, Mr. Ortiz. I'm sorry, David. Let him finish. Go ahead and finish.
What was that?
No,
Yeah,
with
the
the
city and the sponsors.
Oh, yes,
sponsors.
with the sponsors. Here it says sponsors.
We haven't gotten any for the.
I don't think so we'll be able to get any sponsors. If we do, that commitment has to be for 20 years.
Right.
No sponsor is going to commit themselves to 20 years.
May,
believe me. I don't think so.
the leagues, how much can they bring
You
in?
do have sponsorships in larger venues like in San Antonio.
Right.
That's San Antonio.
That's what I said. Larger venues.
Right,
Where you have
you
Valero,
cannot
you got
compare.
AT&T, and you got other companies that do that.
Yes, we got signs here, but every year they change and prices change,
Right.
but what we're focusing on is commitment,
But
commitment. That's what I'm focused at. Oh, and that 40,000, what's all that about the foundation?
I don't know.
And
That's a dollar fee that the council pays,
Right.
for parks and cemeteries.
Okay,
It's about
if-
$36,000.
Is that dollar?
Yes,
if those funds are gonna be injected in this program, then we are gonna neglect. Because all the funds are gonna be here. The cemeteries are not gonna be maintained as well as they should, right? We're gonna be.
Well, we won't have above what our budget for
Right.
that department.
Because don't,
Plus, and we gotta take under we will have a problem if attendance grows, the water capacity.
out
We
there.
will have a problem but I believe the city.
Has anything been budgeted as far as, for this in y'all's budget or not?
No.
No.
No, the partnerships are just, we're just starting to reach out to the partners that we would like to assist us in this project. And FEDC was one of the main players.
And do you feel like, as doing your budget, do you feel that there's anything that y'all can do for this? Or you have your hands pretty full, don't you?
No, ma'am, we're looking at every option that we've got, but just as yourself, we are looking at what kind of increase in sales tax collections we're gonna have and what kind of businesses are coming in. But this is in preparation, and I think Mr. Fred made a extremely good point that now's the time to start budgeting for that, even though the payment comes in 2013, we still need it.
People are going to be here for the next 15, 20 years.
I've been thinking in my head right now.
If they're going to be here for the next 15, 20 years, I'd tap into Halliburton and see what they can give us, and Marathon Oil, all these other, Schlumberger, all these oil and gas companies out of Houston that you see trucking.
Well, I think that we
You
need to
start,
go
they know
on and
very
see
well.
what kind of, what are we gonna do on this?
I just think that with our youth, they're so talented. I mean, you
Well,
saw
we
what
have so many.
you saw what our soccer players are doing. You see what our
Wildcats.
baseball, our Wildcats.
It's
We've got a lot of talented little kids out there.
It's
But
like,
they
I
don't get
don't know
exposed.
how many more there are.
Well, I can tell you, Floresville is very serious and aggressive about their sports compared to other areas that I've seen.
And they
They're
don't,
very
because
serious
once they
about
get up
that.
there to high school, they're.
My
Right,
son
but they're
was
just-
playing in a
Right,
league
but they're just playing in the leagues here, but they're not getting exposed out there like in big
I can see a
cities
difference. in
by
how-
scouts and all that. They don't have opportunities. That's why I'm doing it with a high school soccer team, because they're not getting exposed. Because everything's competitive soccer now.
Yes, sir.
Jesse,
No, that's high school though. I'm talking about.
what kind of timetable do we have on finalizing our budget over here?
By the end of September, presented to the city council.
So right now, we're just kind of.
It's a discussion, what I'll do with any recommendations that y'all make, retool the numbers, especially in the expenditure side. And then, okay, how would we fit in, this, and again, I put down 75,000 because that's in the discussions I've had with the mayor. Nothing's set in concrete, it could be different, could be less, could be more. But if I work that into the budget, I gotta take things out and make it fit.
And the reason I'm asking is, if we're going to put it in this year's budget, it has to be finalized for us by the end of September.
Yes.
So we need to get kind of
Mid-September,
serious about
presented
it.
to the council at the end of the month.
And we need to get kind of serious.
So we need to decide, in other words.
Do we get
what to do.
involved, do we participate,
And we are
and to
doing
what tune? And for what it's worth, and I'm just an individual, but I've been on record, the first meeting after coming back on the board, I said one of my priorities, was helping get more, or put more money or effort into enhancing or, adding on to what we have. I never had anything in mind like a state-of-the-art sports complex, but I still maintain that for our kids, we need to do something. We need to make an effort, put money, whatever it takes, to whatever tune we can afford, to make it better for them. Now, it doesn't mean just taking what we have and adding on to it, enhancing what we have, or building a whole new complex. I'm not too sure that I agree with that last statement that I made, and that is a whole new sports complex. I don't know that we can afford it, and I don't know that that in itself is directly tied into what our kids do. This business of making it a money-making venture, I don't necessarily buy that. What we need to do is look at what our kids, and I keep saying kids, whatever it is,
Necessity.
soccer, whatever meets their needs.
You know, if you're gonna do a project, you know, they had a slideshow presentation there, and it looked like Fenway Park, but $15 million project, and they all looked at the engineer. Well, if you're gonna do something, do it right. If you're gonna go in there and put up $2.24 million, that's you know, far cry from what they're looking at doing.
That's why I was
So
addressing.
right now, I don't think the city of Floresville is economically sound enough to even start a project like that. You go fix up what you have. You know, there's people that can shore all that your fields back up and get them where you need to be. Go in there and bring this Eagle for Shell business here. That's where you need to concentrate your time. Put your streets in, get your ETJs out there, bring your sewers in, grab a hold of these people, bring that money in here. Then you'll have the money to go build your fields. Then you go around and get the OCs, go buy some land out here where it's centrally located in the city, and build a big complex. Let everybody put their monies in on that. But that's my theory on it. I don't think the city can afford it right now. If you're gonna go out there and put $2.24 million, that's probably enough to fix up what you have out there. And that's my thought on it. And that's, you know, y'all do whatever y'all want to do, but I think if you're going to go out there and do it, if you're going to do it right. I don't think y'all can afford it right now.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.